3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's me, the Einstein of Wall Street. We are here with Trade Like Einstein. I am Peter Tuchman, and we're here on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange in the balcony. History is made in this building every single day. Somebody with my long-term experience, I've been here for 137 years. It is my responsibility to help teach you how to navigate this market successfully. Boom! We are here this evening, graced and blessed with Eve Halimi from Alinea, okay? It is a trading app that focuses on young women. Look, I know that in good times, everybody thinks around 2020, everybody got in there. They were sitting at home, quarantined, right? Watching Netflix, ordering DoorDash, and hitting a bunch of hitting a bunch of buttons in meme stocks. And everybody thought you could make money and post some pictures on Instagram, you know, sitting on the back of your Bugatti, making thousands of dollars. If that was you, Mazel tov, I love you. But if it wasn't, and you made a bunch of money and you gave it all back, this is the time to get smart. This is the time to educate yourself about trading. This is the time to look at whether it's the Weebles or the Robin Hoods, and those guys have shown themselves not to be their motivation is not really good for you. What good rises to the top? We know that with Cream, and this young lady has an app that is rising to the top. She's focusing on a spectacular demographic. We know women have completely been excluded, not included in the financial space, in the trading space, in the investing space. Up until this day, you feel like 2023, it's like Stone Age as far as women involved in this industry, investing in their future, creating generational wealth. That's over. That game is over. Thanks to this young lady, I would like to introduce you to Eve Halimi. Please tell us a little about Alinea.
Thank you, Peter, for that beautiful intro. Okay, so Alinea was started 2 years ago with the goal to make investing more accessible to young women and minorities. We today have over 50,000 investors on our platform. 77% are female, 72% are first-time investors, and 62% are Gen Z. So what we do is that we help you with guided investing. We're going to invest your money for you in strategies like recession-proof, fighting climate change, or the Alinea All-Stars, which is a portfolio that we manage for you. We're going to provide you content with every step of the way, and we're going to teach you and give you a community that's inclusive and accessible. So if you're afraid of investing, come to Alinea. We're your community for you.
Okay, let's talk for a minute about community, because what we know, one of the good things about social media, whether it's Discord or whether it's Instagram or whether it's just trading and people talking about like-minded people talking about investing in the market, we know since 2020, 48 million new investors and traders have come into the marketplace. Okay, that is courtesy of TD Ameritrade. And I would say probably 38 million of them already blown up their trading accounts. Yep. Investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There are lots of opportunities that you can go and find free trading apps. We know the barriers to entry for young people, for women, for people of color has always been huge to get into the stock market. In the old days, for the first 150 years of investing, you had to be an accredited investor before you could invest in this market. What happened in 2020 was the incredible advent of a bunch of trading apps that came along. Okay, during that time, it was due to the necessity. People were sitting at home. The whole environment and the landscape of investing and trading was changing. Okay, but at the end of the day, you don't know the rules. You don't have the education. And I'm not judging you. It is a game. If I want to learn how to become a pilot, I don't just go to Teterboro, grab the keys, hop on the plane, and hope it works out.
Yes.
Same thing with trading. Yes. When it comes to money, you need to educate yourself in the game. You need to learn the rules and the discipline and consistency that it takes. So there are apps that you can go out there. You can buy and sell 100,000 shares. You can even fractionally invest. Thanks to Drive Wealth. Hey, Donnie's dad and the team. We love Drive Wealth. Shout out to Drive Wealth. But at the end of the day, there are a couple of different things. You can be an investor. As a young person in this world, you should be investing in your future. That's another thing. Disclaimer, I am not your advisor and I'm not a stock picker, but I'm here to try and educate you, to open your world to what the opportunities are. I'm here to connect people to opportunity and investing in your future and actually trading the market or getting involved in the stock market as a young person, a woman, a person of color, where you've been barriers to entry for all these years. At the end of the day, Alinea gives you the opportunity to learn about the stock market, to be part of a like-minded community of like-minded people. In fact, if you don't know how to trade yet, they'll help you learn through educational platforms. If you're a woman per se, they will make specified portfolios that may be of interest to you. They're going to give you opportunities to connect you to the market, to invest in your future. And that's something that doesn't exist out there. There are a lot of trading apps out there, and obviously you have your choice of all of them. But to find, look, demographic is an important thing. focusing on women in this industry is a super important thing. And these young ladies have done an incredible job doing that. Tell me about the business model. I know you guys went out, you raised a bunch of money. I want to hear that story. I want to know how you and your partner, Anam, actually started this thing. Yeah. And I want to know that the sort of the obstacles and the challenges you've had along the way to now suddenly becoming a profitable entity.
Yeah, what we've realized by talking to customers this past year is that they don't know what to invest in. They don't know how much money to invest in. They don't know what to pick, when to buy, when to sell. They want someone to help them with it. But most people don't have the money to have a financial advisor. Most people don't know where to go. So that's why we've created Alinea automated portfolios. Playlist is what we call them, where we're managing it for you, giving you updates, but for a fraction of the cost. Today, it costs $5 a month to get started on Alinea. We give you even the first $100 managed by us for free if you want to try. It's a gift, and then it's $5 a month up until $6,000. $6,000 we're charging a 1% AUM fee, but it's very affordable for all that we offer, which is investing for you, content, learning, community, and so much more.
Okay, so let's talk about how important this is, because at the end of the day, there are a lot of bad players in the game. There are a lot of Discords and Twitter spaces that will corral you in, tell you to pay them $9, $26 a month. They'll give you stock picks, and that's a classic old Jordan Belfort pump and dump scheme. And then there are a lot of other trading apps that just take your money. They don't give you any education today. They don't curate you at all as far as telling you the risks involved in this situation. But at the end of the day, what these young women at Alinea are doing is they're embracing you. They're embracing young women, people of color, people who have been disenfranchised from this community, and saying, you know what, it's okay. We understand that you're scared. So what we're going to do is we're going to present some portfolios. We're going to give you the opportunity to dip your toe in the investment world and see how it feels, and see how at the end of the day, look, as we've talked about before, we love to buy stuff, right? We are a generation of consumers that goes beyond the world. What I'm trying to do is change that narrative and tell people to invest in stocks and not stuff. At the end of the day, imagine that. You could download the Alinea app. You could start investing, whether it's $5, $100, or $1,000. You can ask for help, to ask them, what would you invest in if you were me? Maybe give me a couple of portfolios that sort of, they get to know you. They find out what you're interested in, and they will help curate a portfolio that will fall into it'll be a funnel of all the things that you may be interested in. Go ahead.
And the latest thing we just launched is these Spotify recaps. Instead of having a big research paper that no one understands in our community and in our user membership, what we have is these recaps every month on how your portfolio did. So Apple rose 3%. Why did it rise 3%? What happened to the stock? Why did your portfolio go down or up? We're really going to speak to you in your language with bite-sized information.
So, for me, that's incredibly exciting, because this whole thing is incredible. Wall Street itself, investing and trading, is incredibly intimidating. And that's kind of one of the reasons it's been sort of separated from most people in the world. The 1% of the 1% of the people who have been involved in the world. The world is changing. Coming out of COVID, we're on the other side of crazy town. And the messaging of young people, of women, of people of color, to invest in their future, to buy things that potentially will increase in value. And so we're trying to embrace you, curate you, and make it a less intimidating thing, because at the end of the day, how cool would it be? Everything we buy, I'm sure everybody's got a closet full of clothes and a closet full of shoes and a million iPhones and all that kind of stuff, that the minute you buy them go down in value. But at the end of the day, to change that narrative, to get people to understand, wouldn't it be so cool to walk around with my app and be able to see that today it had $137 on it, but Apple came out with a new phone and the sales were good, and now it's $167, and how I could share that and communicate with other like-minded people. And that community will, at the end of the day, catapult young women, people of color, the people who have not been able to invest in their future, to a whole nother level. Think about it. At the end of the day, there are numbers that have said that at the age of 18, if you put $250 into I've heard this, I'm not saying it, $250 into the S&P 500 from the age of 18 every month, by the age of 65, you'll have $1.8 million of passive income. Well, now if you put $10 a month, $100 a month, think about it. Cut back on the lattes. Don't buy the new iPhone, and put your money in the Alinea app and invest in things that you're interested in. women. Invest in things that you consume as a consumer.
On
Talk
that
to me.
On that point, we just did announce a partnership today with Stock Perks. What this means is that now you can redeem perks for stocks that you own on the Alinea app. It's exclusive to the Alinea app. So let's say I have a WeWork stock, a share of WeWork, because I love WeWork. I work at WeWork every day. I get a 50% membership fee off on my monthly pay because I own a share of WeWork. So you get perks for the companies that you own with our Stock Perks.
So who gives me the perk? If I, let's say it's not like if I'm, so there are some apps out there, which I was talking to actually Donnie's father about. Let's say I like to drink Starbucks coffee, and we've got things like Roundup. And so that when we round up, some of the money does not only go into the market, it goes into Starbucks stock. So if I own some Starbucks stock, who pays me the perk?
These are exclusive perks that we have with the public companies. So we have a few public companies right now, like Real Good Foods, Vista Outdoors, Smile Direct Club for your teeth. But we're working directly with these public companies that give perks to the retail investors, because retail investors now make up to over 30% of the stock ownership. So they're wanting to give back to the retail investor, and we're making that possible.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The male versus female population within the investment community. What is the discrepancy? How many more men are invested in the stock market than women?
Way more.
It's got to be 75, 25
for
at
Robinhood
most,
was
least.
about 20% female on their app.
Out of 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, and think about it as consumers. Women are very loyal consumers. So think about how smart it is as a business model for these public companies to give women perks if they're involved in Estee Lauder, whether it's a makeup company, whether it's a food company, whether it's a restaurant, hospitality, whatever it may be. But think about the long-term mental state of that, the psychology behind that. We're talking about a loyalty program.
And ownership.
Alinea will have one, and ownership. Yeah. Absolutely. What's the future look like for you guys? Are you making money yet? Talk to me.
We're making money. We now have thousands of paying customers on the app, which is exciting. It's our best release we've had so far. People want their money automated. They want to be investing every month. They don't want to think about it. Dollar cost averaging is the best strategy for retail investors. And so we're pushing them into that. And we're making some good money.
Let's talk for a minute about what just happened in SVB.
Yes.
It is a startup friendly bank. In 2020, millions and billions of dollars were being put into startups by VCs. And that's what fueled the growth of SVB Bank. Well, at the end of the day, raising capital is one thing. I know these young women worked really hard to raise the money they did, but making money is 10 times harder than raising money. And what ended up happening, one of the reasons that SVB had the drawdown that they did was the economy changed. It became challenging. Quick money was not the name of the game. It was no longer on the menu. That quick money period of 20 and 21 is gone. So all that money suddenly was getting drawn out. $42 billion in 10 hours was being taken out of SVB because these were startups that they had raised a lot of money, but were not making revs yet. You've only been around for a couple of years. You already reevaluated yourself, because I know there were struggles in the beginning, right? You had customers, you had people doing it, but most of the apps are free apps. So you had to compete with the big guys who came along during COVID and blew up as they did. But at the end of the day, it's about making money. And you will, at the end of the day, really struggle if you don't. But you were able to reevaluate, right? Look at what was going on. Have a subscription service, which in this world, whatever it may be, is actually one of the greatest business models there are. And so now we launched this how long ago?
2 weeks ago.
And how many paid subscribers do we have?
5,000.
In a week. In a couple of weeks.
2 weeks.
That's unbelievable. So look, I think there's more to this story. I really want to go on and we'll talk again. But at the end of the day, it's called Alinea. It is a trading app for women. It's a trading app for anybody. Okay, but they have a relationship with Stock Perks. That's a good thing. They have a subscription model where they will set up a portfolio and curate it for you. But it gives the chance for first-time investors, whether they're women, people of color, or anybody. But at the end of the day, you feel you've got a community behind you. You've got these two absolute gangster women, Anam and Eve, helping you out. I mean, literally, I've sent people to the app and I've said they'll go, well, like it's an app. Nobody knows I'm coming. I'll say, you reach out to them, Eve or Anam, and tell them that I sent you, and they will give you special treatment. So go check it out. It is a free trading app. There is opportunity to set up a portfolio on a very inexpensive subscription model to get yourself in the market. Don't be intimidated. $1, $5, $10, $100. It grows within the stock market. Invest in stocks that you know. Buy stocks and not stuff. And that's all I got to say about that.